Hey guys, welcome to Super Basketball Bros podcast. My name is Shrey and I'm here with Kage and Dan.
What up? What's going on?
Today we're going to have our first ever fantasy segment on Super Basketball Bros. We're going to discuss the top point guard in fantasy and who you should be focusing on in the drafts. So we're going to start with Kage. Who do you think, or who do you have as your number one point guard?
Chef Curry. Why wouldn't you have him as your number one point guard? Reigning MVP, almost 4 threes a game, 3.6 to be exact. You know, he'll get you over 20 points, he'll get the steals. What does a point guard do? Pass. He can pass and score. That's a complete point guard, and he shoots really well from the free throw line, 91%. Why not Chef?
Can't go wrong with Chef. Dan, who do you have?
Well, I'm going to have to take a spin on that. And yeah, you can get assists, you can get points. But what about rebounds? You get a point guard that's a triple-double machine almost every game. You know that he's going to bring it. He's going to get you maybe 25 points a game, 8 boards, 8 assists. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Westbrook or Bestbrook. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Is he the Bestbrook?
Oh, yeah, he's the Bestbrook. And that's who your number one point guard should be for this upcoming draft.
You can't go wrong with both of those picks. Westbrook and Curry had career years last year. Curry winning the championship with the Golden State. I like Damian Lillard as my top fantasy point guard. He pretty much because he has nobody around him. He's the number 1, number 2, and number 3 option in that offense. So I can see Portland definitely giving him the reins to do whatever he wants, jack up as many threes. So you can see an up in production from Lillard this year.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Yeah, same here.
Lillard is a really good scoring point guard. And the way he got his assists is by giving the ball to Aldridge, Batum, Wesley Matthews. He's going to give it to Noah Vonleh. He's not going to get many assists, but you know what? You're the fantasy guru. We'll let you have this one. But
watch for Lillard.
Yeah.
Watch for him.
I gotta agree with Kate here. I don't know. I think guys are gonna start double teaming this guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna get frustrated, and I don't think he's gonna be as effective. You gotta have those threats to space it out.
Stay away from Lillard.
Stay away.
The way I see Lillard, he's a volume shooter. When you look at Westbrook and Curry, they have a lot of talent around them, a lot of mouth to feed. So to me, I can see Curry and Westbrook both dropping in production. Westbrook didn't even have KD last year. Yeah. There was no KD and Ibaka, and that triple double run he had while they were both out. I don't know, man.
Westbrook at least. He's going to complain about every point. You saw him last year after every game. He's going to want those points. He may not be great for PR, but he's great for fantasy owners.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, when you have to cry for a rebound, I don't know. I guess you have the upper hand in fantasy.
That might be the difference between winning and losing. So, hey.
All right, so we're going to move on to our sleepers in the point guard position. Kage, who do you think is an up-and-comer who you can maybe target in the earlier rounds?
I'm going to pick the Louisiana Lafayette product, Alfred Payton, starting point guard for the Orlando Magic. He averaged 9 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds last year. And as the year progressed, you could see his assists go up, his defense get really stellar. He was getting a lot of steals, and he was getting to know the teammates better. And with the same kind of group as they re-signed Tobias Harris, he knows where players want the ball in certain areas. So I think he'll up his production. Look for him if he's still around, if you need a backup point guard.
Love the Payton pick. He's pretty much a Gary Payton type of player. Obviously not at that level yet, but he has a lot of room to grow. Dan, who do you have as your sleeper?
Yeah, well, it's somewhat of a sleeper. He hasn't been on a great team in many years, but I'm going with Ty Lawson. He's going to be getting the ball a lot more now. Well, not a lot more compared to Denver, but, James Harden is used to taking the ball up the court. Now it's going to be a little different situation now. I don't know if his assists will be up as they were back in the day, but, he's got Howard at center. Maybe he's going to lob it up a couple of times. He's still got James Harden, but I got to go with him. He's going to have his field goal percentage probably shoot up a bit because he's going to have more room now. Not a lot of guys are going to be double teaming him anymore, so I'm expecting him to have a great season. So just don't let him slide out too late. I think he's going to be like a 4th, 5th round guy.
Remind me, is Harden and Howard on that team as well? Do you really think Lawson has room to be a fantasy producer this year?
That's right. Chris Paul, how many assists does he get from lobbing it up to DeAndre? Ty Lawson, he's going to be able to pierce through that defense, and that's what they've been missing. James Harden, he turns over the ball all the time. Now you're going to get a guy who can pierce through that offense, through the opposing defense, and not turn over the ball, maybe lob it up quickly to Howard, and he's going to love it.
Yep, you know what? I can't argue with that. I have Reggie Jackson as my sleeper. OKC outcast, pretty much. Was on the bench with the OKC Thunder. With the move to the Pistons, he's in the starting lineup. Jennings is now behind him. I could definitely see him taking that next step. We all know that he's practicing or trying to improve on his three-point shooting. That's going to be another addition to his already crazy arsenal. So I can see him being a 5-stat producer this year.
Just 2 cents on you guys. Lawson, like the pick. Not much of a sleeper, but still a stellar pick. The only thing I'd watch out for Lawson is he usually has injury issues. And I hope he can stay healthy so Houston can advance a bit far. And as for Reggie Jackson, with the loss of Monroe, he's going to get a lot of shots now. And I like that pick as well.
Yeah.
Yep, can't go wrong with any 3 of those picks. Peyton, definitely going to be an all-star this year, I think.
Okay.
All right, let's have a final look at our picks for this week as our top point guards for both Kage, Dan, and myself.
I got this, right? Team Kage, right?
You got to love those Dan picks. I don't lose a lot.
Only in fantasy.
Fantasy
We'll see.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. We talked about our top fantasy point guards. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about our top fantasy shooting guards, so make sure to stay tuned and watch the next episode.